Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth Izquierdo, and today I will be coloring this drawing while answering the question, how did your production skills develop throughout this project? Now let's get started. At the beginning of this project, I definitely had some limitations. One of the biggest challenges was lining up schedules with my group partners. Everyone had different responsibilities, sports, and family plans, so finding time where we were all free was harder than I expected. Because of that, some of our early filming days felt really rushed. We were just trying to get everything done instead of focusing on improving each scene. Another struggle that we first had as a group was acting and the overall execution of our film. Even though we had a clear idea of the story we wanted, it did not always translate well on camera. Some scenes felt awkward and the pacing was off. When we watched a rough draft for the first time, I could tell that certain moments dragged on too long. It didn't feel as smooth as I imagined it would in my head. As we continued working, I started to see some real growth in my production skills, especially in the story and the pacing. After reflecting on our rough draft and receiving feedback, my teammates and I realized that we needed to make some adjustments. We cut or shortened scenes that felt unnecessary. We tightened up dialogue. We paid attention to how one scene transitioned into the next instead of just filming what we wrote. We started thinking more like actors, directors, and editors. By the time we reached our final cut, the story felt much smoother and connected. It flowed naturally and the message became clearer. Another issue we had was lighting. It improved a lot from the rough draft to our final cut. In the beginning, some of our footage felt very dark and had dark shading in places that it shouldn't have and should have been well lit. At first, I did not realize how much lighting affects the overall quality of the film. At first, getting feedback to fix the lighting, we watched the scenes that they said and we clearly saw the problem. So we made a simple but effective change. We started filming earlier in the day to take advantage of the natural light. Some small adjustments that made a huge difference was that our final product looked brighter and more colorful, and the visuals felt more intentional instead of accidental. We also received feedback about sound issues and pacing. Some scenes felt slow, and the audio wasn't as clear as it should have been. Instead of ignoring this criticism, we took some time to reflect. After rewatching the rough draft together and asked ourselves what needed to change, that reflection was honestly one of the biggest learning moments for me. It taught me that filmmaking isn't just about creating something once, it was about reviewing, improving, and refining the final vision. The pacing feels tighter and the sound is clearer, which makes the film more engaging. One piece of feedback we received was our editing, and that our ending would have been longer and stronger. So we decided to make a small change with adding a small surprise with the cake to bring a lighter aspect, which made it seem and feel more like a rom-com. That change added warmth and made the ending more complete. It also helped communicate the emotional shift in relationships more clearly. In the final cut, you could see the buildup of tension on one side, and that small sense of warmth at the end. That contrast is much clearer now because of the adjustments we made. We also were praised for our editing, mood, atmosphere, and mise en scène once we presented our final cut. That feedback really felt rewarding because it showed that our creative vision was coming through. Even though we had technical issues to fix, the overall vibe of our film was strong. Hearing that gave me confidence and motivated me to improve the areas that we were weak in. Overall, my production skills developed a lot through this project. I learned how important collaboration, reflection, and attention to detail really are. I improved in storytelling, pacing, lighting, and responding to feedback. Most importantly, I learned that growth comes from being honest about what is not working and taking action to fix it. By the end of our project, the film felt more polished and intentional, and had more meaningful moments rather than the dull ones where we started off. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.